The time now for Media Watch, and I'm joined this evening by James Creedon. Good evening, James.
Good evening.
Now, you're, of course, looking at one of our top stories, the political crisis in the UK, which is, as ever, unfolding on social media.
That's right. Labyrinthine kind of chain of comments, very polarised as always, but let's just take a look at some of the comments that have come through today. A lot of Conservatives are very upset about this, Sanam, and it shows the extent to which the country isn't just split along Brexit lines. It's split now within the methods, within pro-Brexit in terms of the methods, and the suspension or possible suspension of Parliament is getting people very upset. Be in no doubt that Margaret Thatcher would have been absolutely disgusted in Johnson for his grisly handiwork. Be in no doubt too that Thatcher was so far to the left of Johnson, she was off the scale. So you can see the content and the tone of some of these tweets.
Strongly worded.
Yes. I am being inundated, says Conservative MP Antoinette Sandbach, with furious emails from constituents about the prorogation of Parliament. The proposal is an affront to democratic accountability at a time when the new PM should be happy to be scrutinised by elected MPs. Laurie Penny, a journalist, 3 years ago, take back control. The people have spoken. If you oppose Brexit, you hate democracy. And of course, the irony of that is now being thrown right back in the face of those promoting this particular method. Now, an unelected Prime Minister gets a hereditary monarch to suspend Parliament in order to force through a disastrous no-deal Brexit that nobody voted for. Doesn't sound very democratic, really, does it? Many also reminding those who are now in favour of this particular approach that way back in the not so distant past of June, although a lot of water under the bridge since then, when there were all the debates about the votes and whatnot, the withdrawal agreement being rejected, those who defended the idea of suspending Parliament were getting this message from Gove, Raab and others very much in the Boris Johnson camp. I will defend democracy. You can't take Britain out of the EU against the will of the Parliament. And Paul Johnson here of The Guardian, suspecting that a lot of them might have their heads down, just would rather forget that. You know, our own Catherine Nicholson pointing to Matt Hancock, who is the Minister of Health, proroguing Parliament undermines parliamentary democracy and risks a general election. I rule it out and call on all candidates to do the same. He wrote that back in June. Philip Hammond, it would be a constitutional outrage if Parliament were prevented from holding the government to account at a time of national crisis, profoundly undemocratic. So it's created an absolute storm in terms of comment and rhetoric. Parody Boris Johnson account. We must take back control of our sovereignty and implement the democratic will of the people. We will do this by suspending Parliament because of the democratically elected MPs do not agree with the Prime Minister the 0.13% of the electorate voted for. That's
James,
parody, but it's actually reality.
That's actually reality. It's not parody. But, you know, in one of the earlier tweets, we noticed that we had the hashtag Stop the Coup. And, of course, that hashtag is now trending. That's
right. In a bid, and many using it to rally people on front of Parliament Square. See you there shortly. Stop the coup. Defend democracy. Lots of people commenting at that rally, some such as comedian and commentator Mark Steele saying this is a national emergency. We need to be as committed as the other side. Stop Boris. Cartoons as well, showing the extent to which that's the Leader of the Opposition, this is the Speaker of the House, and they're all just being ignored. European politicians such as former Belgian MP and leader of Belgian Prime Minister, and leader of one of the groups in the European Parliament, taking back control has never looked so sinister, he says. So much more to say on all of this. A quick whip through just some final details. Now, a petition against this. You only need 100,000 for there to be a debate in Parliament. But that, of course, might not happen because it could be suspended. That's absolutely shooting up.
And it's still going up as we're looking at it.
It's going up massively. A lot. That's going to be over 1 million by this evening for sure. The Church of England weighing in on this. In fact, it's interesting to see religious institutions weighing in when they normally stay out of debates. We've seen this in the US as well, with the Washington Cathedral coming out saying, you know, in extraordinary times, you see these institutions saying, actually, we normally stay out of this, but we're really worried about the way things are going. Very quickly, Hugh Grant. You will not bleep with my children's future. You will not destroy the future. You will not destroy the country my great-grandfathers fought 2 world wars to defend. Bleep you. I've actually forgotten all of the details of this tweet, which I can't show because
there's so many bleeps.
But he is furious with Boris Johnson. And but then you have tweets like this. Katie Hopkins, the age of the politician is over, she says, a very conservative commentator. We just need people who get things done. The age of the politician is over.
But it's Katie Hopkins. James Creedon, thank you very
Thanks,
much for that update, and thanks for being with us.